Different date, same fate. I'ma knock out Jake Paul.
A different day, the same destiny, Jake Paul. My knockout, the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, has been rescheduled after being postponed due to Iron Mike's declining health, which many had anticipated. But Iron Mike Tyson gave Jake Paul a warning ahead of their rescheduled fight on November 15th, saying he would kill the former YouTuber when they entered the ring. Tyson then took to X and posted the fight's new poster, captioning it, "New date for Jake's wake." However, Jake Paul didn't stop there. He also posted the fight's poster, saying that the new date wouldn't alter Tyson's fate on the fight night. Same location, same outcome in an effort to preserve Tyson's fragile age. The Texas Department of Licensure and Regulation approved the revised fight night schedule, which will see Paul and Tyson battle over 8 2-minute rounds wearing 14 gloves, as opposed to the customary 12 3-minute rounds wearing 10 gloves. Our team has worked hard with all parties involved to reschedule this historic fight to a date that ensures both Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are fully prepared with equal training time, as well as allowing us to keep the event at AT&T Stadium in the middle of the Cowboy season. Tyson had a medical scare last month on a plane scheduled to fly from Miami to Los Angeles, according to Nikisa Bedarian, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions. Representatives for Tyson claimed that their client had experienced nausea and vertigo approximately 30 minutes prior to the plane landing and was now feeling well. However, this was not the case, as the fight was called off only a few days after the incident, indicating that Mike wasn't well enough to compete on July 20th, which is obviously devastating news. I am devastated, speechless, and gutted. We have all been working so hard in this camp, and I feel horrible for everyone who is a part of this event. However, I value Mike's health above all else because I love that guy and I have a lot of respect for him. He says he will knock me out again, so I bought myself some time. So Mike is still talking, __ over there. I'm prepared for you whenever you're ready, since this is an enormous opportunity. If you wish to proceed with this, as you mentioned behind closed doors and behind the scenes, you mentioned that you want to accomplish this in Q4. I think this fight's going to change the world, and I turned all my L's into WS. That's a motel I live by the universe, makes no mistakes. So let's see what's in store. But sorry this didn't work out to everyone. The fans love you guys, however, now that the fight is rescheduled to a new date of the 15th of November. Tyson's says that the new date won't change the ending of their fight, that being Jake Paul getting brutally knocked out by Iron Mike. He stated, "Although we had to postpone the fight, I will resume training shortly. I am thankful to the medical staff that treated me. While we have a new date, the result will be the same no matter. When we fight, Jake Paul is getting knocked out still. There was a lot of backlash for the rescheduled date of this fight, as many fans want this fight to be canceled once. And for all considering it was always a controversial topic from the day. It got announced the main reason for many having a bad taste for this fight is because of the age and legacy difference between the two boxers. UFC president Dana White was never a big fan of this fight from the day. It got announced, however, when asked what he has to say after the fight got postponed. Dana said that he has no comments for the first time ever about something. He added that it's Mike's world, and his decision on how he wants to proceed with this fight, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, is delayed. I know you're close with Mike, I guess. Are you happy that they're looking out for his health in that instance? And do you even think it should be rescheduled, period, given this Aller flare-up 100%? Yeah, obviously I know a lot about it, but I'm not going to talk about it publicly. Yeah, yeah, I for the first time, probably ever in my life, I have no comment on something. That's Mike's world. And you know he gets pissed at me every time I talk about that stuff. Good for him. And they'll figure it out. But now, when the fight is rescheduled, Dana has some harsh words to say about this fight, calling it ridiculous. He stated, When this fight happens, Tyson will be 58 years old. An almost 60-year-old guy shouldn't be fighting a 27-year-old guy under any circumstances. Even if it's Mike Tyson, it's ridiculous. My biggest issue with the Jake Paul situation is that it plays out like when he actually fought somebody who was a boxer who had the same type of record he has, who is his age, Tommy, and who is his size, lost, yeah. So they're never going to go that route again, right? Close fight. And they're trying to pull this whole narrative like when people I saw some guy the other day say we need going to stop fighting gimmick. Fights you going to call Mike Tyson a gimmick, yeah, is a gimme. But if I were him, I would never, in response to this criticism. Oscar de la Hoya clarifies that Jake Paul should fight young fighters and top contenders in order to establish himself as a legitimate boxer. If Jake Paul wants to be a real fighter, he should compete in real fights, take on contenders, compete in the top 10, and compete against fighters who are young fighters who are ranked in our boxing system. That's how you do it, Jake, so I'm not criticizing you. Rather, I respect you because you love boxing, and anybody who loves boxing has to respect CH. Sonnen claims that in order to further promote his fight with Tyson, which is now set for November 15th, Jake Paul should fight on July 20th with a different opponent. Sonnen is right. If Paul fights someone on July 20th, it turns into a great big marketing piece for Paul versus Tyson, as if there's a way to preserve this and have it all protected. However, when you switch them, when you cancel the date off the board, and then you put it over here, it's a very different feel with a very different, while nearly the entire combat sport. The world believes Tyson is seriously endangering his health by going up against a boxer who is currently active and less than half his age. Former UFC light heavyweight champion Rampage Jackson believes Tyson will have too much hour early and force Paul to resign, saying Tyson will knock him out in 2 rounds. Mike Tyson will prevail. Jake has less boxing experience than Mike Tyson. Paul has lived. Have you ever watched the viral video where the elderly white man beats the young white guy to a pulp? That's what I believe will happen now that the fight has been rescheduled. A number of professionals have offered to take Tyson's place if the fight doesn't go through, giving them a chance to win big. Legendary British boxer Amir Khan said he would replace Mike Tyson if Paul would come down in weight, saying, "If the weights are right, I would step in for Mike Tyson." Giving up 20 pounds doesn't bother me. It simply depends on how much weight Jake has gained in preparation for his battle with Mike. Although Jake isn't particularly large by nature, he has gained a lot of weight. It will be up to him to decide whether or not to shed that weight so that we can strike a compromise. Amir Khan is anticipated to return to the ring to face another opponent of Jake Paul. KSI Khan states that he has no say in Tyson's replacement, but if the fight goes through and he finishes off KSI, he can also finish off Jake Paul. Let's see though, I haven't received any calls regarding that, so I assume they're still hoping to fight Mike. Since KSI has been speaking the big game, once he's taken a beating, I might as well finish off both of them. I would take on KSI first, and then finish off Jake Paul. Then we can observe how he looks against Mike Tyson. If he gets knocked out badly, I wouldn't entertain it. But if he looks really good, it would. In addition, Roy Jones Jr., who faced Tyson in an unofficial exhibition match 4 years prior, indicated his desire to take over as Tyson's successor. Former world champion in multiple divisions, Jones Jr. declared his intention to challenge Paul Dotting. I'm kind of thinking about that and may try to get in shape in case that happens. If the fight between Jake and Tyson is canceled, Roy stated that he is willing to get in shape and face Paul. He also added, "Maybe I get myself in shape for that." With the situation of the fight,